and welcome to episode 323 of the Awesome Comics Podcast, the place where the small press makes one hell of a big noise. I'm Vince Hunt, creator of Murder Road, and joining me as always is the creator of the webcomic Vanguard, Dan Butcher.
Hello.
And the writer and creator behind such titles as Atomic Hercules, George Mayhem, and Flesh and Ink, it's Tony Esmond.
Hello.
Hello.
I was chatting to Dave Robertson this week, and he was complimenting you, Dan, on your hellos at the start of every episode.
Oh, thanks.
Said he likes them.
Putting a lot of work to get where they are.
It's taken 6 long years, isn't it, to get that sort of
It's
perfect
like a familiar
balance.
blanket that wraps you round you as
Well,
you go. Yeah.
I started the first show off like that, and I fucking made my bed. So then I've got
You're like Marsha from Spaced. Hello.
doomed to it. Yeah.
Is she the landlady?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably would, actually.
She was Alan Partridge's paramour.
She's the one who got chocolate sauce on him.
When he said it's chocolate mousse, I'm not making a dirty protest. Welcome everyone
Could took her
to
to
this
an
week's
outfit.
show. We are guestless this week. It's just the three of us, but we have some fantastic stuff to talk about this week. Some interesting topics as always.
Yeah.
For the next 90 minutes to 2 hours, or I don't know. We lose track of time, don't we, when we make this show?
We do. But do you know what? We always seem to land at around the same amount of time.
Yeah.
It's bizarre, isn't it?
Yeah.
Consummate
Just
professionals.
weird.
And even when we feel like the talk has gone on for about 5 hours, by the time I've just sort of edited it, and when I say edited, I cut out the bullshit before and cut out the bullshit afterwards.
And just stick it in.
It's still about 2 hours. So.
Yeah. That last week went quick because we were talking about shagging a lot.
Oh, God, yeah. That just absolutely zipped by.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Thank you to Jenny Blad again for joining us, and to all you lovely listeners for checking it out. So I think we maybe
I learned a few things that I've used.
Yes, that you've used.
Yeah, utilised, I believe is the phrase.
Oh, right.
Or weaponised. That's another phrase.
Do you like tentacles then?
Oh, no, I don't like all that shit.
If you haven't heard the episode yet, go back and listen to it.
Yeah.
What's that one about eating? I can't remember the name of it. I did Google it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, God, that sounds fucking weird.
Being eaten by a big monster. Yeah.
Does it have to be a big monster? Anyway, this is the comic show.
Look at it. Tell me.
First and foremost, Tony, don't
What
make
do you mean we're delivering a pizza?
I've eaten a big monster, but...
Do you know what? I'm saying it now. Fucking buckle up, people, because it's just the three of us, and we don't give a fuck. We don't give a fuck this week. We don't give a fuck.
We're all a bit salty, aren't we? We had a little bit of a chat beforehand, a bit salty,
Yeah.
a bit funny.
Yeah. We've added salt and
I
vinegar
told you
to our
about the
chips this
tagine that
week.
I've had to eat.
You're very posh, aren't you, Tony?
Yeah.
Is that the second time you've said the word tagine?
Ever.
Ever.
I like it because you know why.
Yeah. Dan, don't encourage him. Unless you're encouraging him to read some great comics. And do you know where he can go to read some
Where
great
can
comics?
you read great comics?
You can read them
Comic House.
on Comic House, our lovely
Yes.
sponsor. The indie comic marketplace, with a difference, because they love indie comics as much
We're
as
going
we
to make
do.
you proud, Pete, this week.
We are. And thank you, Pete and the Comic House gang, for sponsoring the show and sticking with us through these ads, which there's kind of a structure to them, but at some point it goes off the rails. But Comic House itself, if you don't know about it, you really should. But if you go to comichouse.com, you can see it's an avenue for people to self-publish their books. They can list their books on comichouse.com, and they can start selling straight away. And it's another sort of storefront avenue to get your work out there. But the thing that we shout about all the time is their app, which we love. More and more people need to check it out, and for another reason that we're going to talk about shortly.
They may need to.
They may need to. But on Comic House, the app, it's basically like Netflix for comics. It's a subscription service, only £3 a month. You get access to an enormous library of digital indie comics from all over the world. Lots of our past guests, present guests, probably future guests, because we're always discovering cool stuff on there. And it's being added to all the time. What's on there at the moment, Dan?
We've got Mune Puke. I fucked it up again.
Mune.
He's currently running a fantastic project where people kind of build.
I love that
send in the
project.
design for their city.
Did you do that, Vince? You were going to do it.
I need to do it. I haven't got around to doing it. Hopefully I can. But
We've got Hauntings, a collection of 9 lessons in hauntings by Lisa April Amelia. Saint Volume 1, Ghost Rider, which I'm going to be talking about later in this show. We've got Spark, issue 3 and 4, Bloop and the Pigeon Pandemic 3, and The Last Arrival, issue 3, which is an original graphic novel.
Oh.
So check that one out.
There you go.
Last Arrival, issue 3, but it's a graphic novel. Is it a series of graphic novels, is it? Or
I presume maybe they've just listed it as a graphic novel.
okay. All right, I get
I don't
you.
know. What defines a graphic novel in page length?
I don't know these days. I mean, everyone used to say Watchmen's a graphic novel, but it was a comic series, and I remember it. You know, it's a bit like that, isn't it?
They're all comics.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
Right
mean?
on.
Do you want
Yes.
the story synopsis for that one?
We would like that, yes.
Yes.
Just simply because I like hearing you read them.
Yeah, yeah. Do it in your sexy voice, Dan.
Murder, Jack goes after Akrok using his more manipulative strategy.
Is there an R in that? Or?
Yeah, there is. Aomi and Olak decide to take on this seemingly undefeatable foe. Meanwhile, Aomi has an identity crisis that reveals her true nature.
Dude, well done, because the names
Lovely.
that you were
There are a few
dropping there,
names.
I had how you managed to get through it. I mean, because I can't say Apple Podcasts by the end of this show.
Stumble through
So well done. Yes, so you can read all of that and more on the Comic House Digital app.
We need to do a little show just of Dan reading stuff out like that. I like that.
Yeah, and I can put some like smooth saxophone music.
Put it in my
behind
headphones before I go off to Betty Buys.
There is
nice.
a title here that I'm going to look up live. I didn't
okay.
mention
What
the
now?
name,
Now?
'cause I might have to.
You're getting your money's worth, Pete?
Hold on.
I
Dan's
might
gonna
have to flag Pete up on this title.
Right, okay.
Okay. Well, before
Can
you
you
do,
say what it is, or are you a bit worried about it?
Well, I don't know. By the time they get this episode, it might have gone.
Oh, okay.
well, really?
Oh,
Well, it would have found a home in last week. Yes.
oh
Okay.
No. Oh, no.
Okay.
Send us a screenshot. Now, send it now. Send it now.
Send it now.
I'll send you the link to the comic.
almost
impression.
ready.
You can look it up on the
Okay.
Oh, right. Okay.
podcast. Pete, are we sending that to you?
I mean, we're excited about looking at this, and you should be excited about checking out all these that
Nice.
and more on ComicHouse.com. So if you go to ComicHouse.com, start your 14-day free trial, and just start reading indie comics and supporting them and discovering new books. Because
What?
oh.
Oh.
To find out what we're discovering right now, go to ComicHouse.com.
Yeah.
And that is a sponsorship ad. And that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah. That's all I have to say about that.
I think I should end every sponsorship ad like Forrest Gump. And that's
Yes.
all I have to say
Yeah.
about that. Although in this, the end of talking about digital comics just then, is going to kick us off on our discussion topic this week. We got a few questions. We put a small shout out to social media. Social media is something we'll be discussing as well a little bit. And thank you to everyone who replied. As always, we'll get through a few of them, but we probably won't be able to cover all of them. Maybe we will. Maybe we won't. But as always, these opinions are ours, and that they are in no way professional or informed. But there are our opinions. I can't even say our opinions.
But if you've got a different opinion, you're wrong.
You're wrong. We're right.
Yeah.
That will be a T-shirt. We will release.
And I'm going to ring up your employer, get you sacked.
Yes. And I'm going to complain about you on Twitter.
Yep. But to start us off, it's more. This is more of an sort of informational sort of topic, really, because we're talking about digital comics, and obviously anyone who's listened to the show for any amount of time knows that I purchase my comics a lot from Comixology. I double dip into the printed versions and get the collections, etc. Hence the reason I need more bookshelves. Oh God, because we love the printed books. We always do. That's first and foremost the ones we love. But so I get them from Comixology, and things are changing on Comixology in the next few months. I received an email about it because I have put a few of my books on Comixology. I know, Dan, you have as well, haven't you?
Yes. All the Vanguard's on there, Viper's on there.
Yeah. Have you got any stuff on there at the moment, Tony?
Yeah. Atomic Hercules on there.
So basically, things are changing for Comixology. So any of you creators out there with your books on there, if you haven't had this email, you don't know about it. Hey, we're going to inform you a little bit. just a little bit, not too much. Basically, the Comixology that we know is going away. From what I gather, it's going to be changed in the coming months. As the email says, that the Kindle store will replace Comixology.com as the primary avenue for fans to purchase new comic content. So, what does this mean for Comixology Submit? So, on September the 15th, as we're speaking now,
that's soon. Bloody hell.
That is the 6th. We are speaking on the 6th of September. On September the 15th, Comixology Submit will stop accepting new submissions. New submissions can be published through Kindle Direct Publishing, KDP as they call it, to make them available to millions of Kindle Store customers. Now, basically, Comixology is going away, and it's all. I'm guessing comics are just merging in with the rest of the Kindle Store. You know how people buy their novels and prose books and all of this. That's what it sounds like to me.
Those normal, boring people.
Yeah, the people that like words and no pictures. Ugh.
Yeah, weird.
This feels good in as much as it feels like a reinvestment of sorts into comics. Kind of like Substack is like putting money into comics again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can see the pluses and minuses of it, but I'm trying to look on the positive side.
Yeah, as we always try to do. Hopefully this won't be a headache for too many creators. I'm guessing all of these things, this has been going on for months, and all of the bigger companies and the publishers and stuff have been going backwards and forwards with Comixology. But for all you indie publishers who do Comixology Submit, here's something you should know. Titles that have previously been published through Submit. Customers who purchase titles on Comixology will still be able to read past purchases on Kindle and Comixology apps. So if people have already, just say you've got a 10-issue comic, if people have already bought issues 1, 2 and 3, they will still have them and still be able to read them. But after I would imagine September the 15th this stands for as well. It doesn't clarify it, but when this comes into effect, if people want to go back and buy issue 1 of your series, they won't be able to. You will have to upload your comic again. To enable new purchases, you must create a KDP account and republish your comics to make them purchasable in the Kindle Store and Android Comixology app. So there's going to be an awful lot of people, especially some of you wonderful indie creators out there, and I'm looking at you, Dan, as well as all the people like you who have a comic series, and you've been, you've gotten beyond 10 issues, God knows how many. I mean, there's stuff on Comixology Submit that there's loads of issues for it, and we've talked about it before. If you want people to start your comic from issue 1, you're going to have to re-upload all of your comics to Kindle or this Kindle store. There will, I'll imagine there is, like you say, Dan. We look at the positives. There's hopefully there's going to be lots of positive sides to this, but I can see that it will be it'll be a headache for an awful lot of creators. I imagine that there's going to be a lot of older indie books that will be lost to the digital platform because
people just won't bother.
They won't bother.
Yeah. Time is money. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if it's going to take you ages to do it, when you think, probably
I do not know.
£1 in September for it, so.
I do not know if, because it doesn't say so much about this, and certainly there are links to get started on KDP and stuff like that as the Kindle Store type things. I do not know if you have to change your files to make them acceptable for this store. I don't know. I don't know that. So certainly go forth, find out about this, and let us know.
If it means reformatting books, I'm not sure if I bother. I've got to say that now.
Yeah.
Because if I have to change the dimensions, that's the stuff.
Or just like you may have to reformat. Instead of a PDF, is it another type of file that they need to?
What do they? Is it? It's not EPUB they take on Kindle. I don't know what it is.
I thought it was EPUB, wasn't it?
Yeah,
maybe it was. Maybe you have to work. There'll be stuff online about how to change.
And I've after this I heard JWC mention a little bit about it. Because obviously, like her books, the Citric Arc, and more. She'll have to do some work, but those books are also on Comic House, so you should check them out.
Well, that's another option. It's kind of like we're seeing like comics now going out to different spaces and creators going to different places.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing Substack will become a publisher. We've got Comic House, we've got all sorts of things at the moment.
Yeah. It's going to be very interesting. I mean, certainly this year has been an interesting time. The past 2 years have been very interesting for comics, whether it be shows, digital, the print media, etc.
I wonder why they're doing it, man. There's got to be a longer roadmap in relation to why they're doing this.
I mean, I think in some ways, and this is just what I'm thinking. It just feels to me like Amazon are just merging things so that they don't have another branch. Let's put it all together into this one thing.
Yeah, I wonder where the Comixology will go.
Yeah. Comixology.
You've got stuff like because I know Invincible did well for Amazon. And if you're watching Invincible and you go, right, I want to read the comic, and the thing pops up on screen, you can click it and get the book straight from Amazon or digitally. Why wouldn't they want that to happen?
In-app purchases is something that Comixology has missed for years now.
Yeah.
The amount of people I've had to talk through, how come I can't buy it in the app? It's like that. But even Audible now you can buy in app, can't you? They've changed that as well now.
Go onto a website to buy the comic and then download it to do your choice. It's very, very. It's not intuitive that. But then again, like, how long is the Comixology app going to be around? Once they swap over,
I think they're moving over to that, aren't they? Yeah.
Certainly, if there's any creators out there who know more about this, please sort of put the word
get in
out.
touch, inform.
There is a page, and I've yet to read this. That they did a big post talking about how things are going to change. I have yet to read that, so that's why I'm just so
okay.
I depend on you two for any kind of technical knowledge, so you have to find out and tell me.
So just quickly glancing over this, here's. Basically, it says new way to shop for digital comics and manga on Amazon.com. Here are some of the changes you can expect. There's going to be an upgraded Comixology app, which will feature flexible filtering and sorting and some fun book navigation features. Ooh, that sounds quite nice. A revamped digital comics experience on Amazon, where you'll be able to browse, buy, and borrow books to read on either the Comixology or Kindle app. I think Comixology... you can visit the new shopping experience today. So basically, it seems like they're creating an Amazon hub for comic buying. Comixology.com will redirect to this new experience when we launch. So it seems like that's going to be a storefront. Do you know what I mean? That's what I mean.
I wonder whether you'll be able to buy, because I know some apps, like the Big Finish app, which is an audio drama thing. Yeah. If you buy the physical and you've got it, and then you download the app later, you can go to the store and download the digital of it. Yeah. Does that make sense? Okay. I wonder if they're going to do that with.
Faster, more reliable downloads on Android and iOS devices. God, my mouth today. Plus, read while downloading is new for Android customers. And in brackets, yes, we've heard you. I'd imagine there's a lot of... Because sometimes... When you click to download, you've got to wait sometimes for this thing.
Yeah, like a minute?
Yeah.
It wasn't fucking really keeping me up at night, that.
No. But some people will do, won't they? The vocal minority, as always, are very loud. Kindle Unlimited and Prime members, this is quite interesting, will be able to borrow from a large library of graphic novels and manga to read on the Comixology app in select countries. This is quite interesting because...
like Comixology Unlimited, or it is.
Yeah.
That works for me. Like, say if I could put Vanguard in with that, and just get it under more people's noses.
Because we don't have it in the UK, do we, at the moment?
No, because I'm on... What am I? I think I'm Amazon Prime. So I think I've talked about it in the past, haven't I? That on my Kindle, it's like a library thing, isn't it? You just borrow some book. You can only borrow like 6 at a time, I guess, or something like that. But then that's a great way to read some books.
It's fairly limited at the moment, isn't it, from a choice point of view? But
my other half has it when like she's got a Kindle and she pays a certain amount a month, and you can get to read as many books as you like.
Oh, okay, like the Audible thing, where you get tokens, or it is, Okay.
And that's it. Comixology purchases will be readable on Kindle apps and devices. Soon you'll also be able to read purchases from Comixology on the Kindle app, giving you more flexibility to decide where and how you read your books. So there's lots more to it.
That sounds like it's preparing us to leave Comixology. That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah. So that's what it sounds like. There's more to it, obviously. Follow, as they say here, they've got an effort FAQ, and they've got a conversation over on Twitter as well. So
FAQs.
FAQ.
We should do an FAQs for us.
Yeah. Fuck you. That's what we should have. Yeah. Frequently asked questions from you. That's what it'll be. So we just
this episode.
We were just we were discussing this a little bit before the show, and certainly, hopefully, it won't create too many headaches. Whenever there's changes there's always teething trouble, isn't there?
Mate, I just sit here banging my head on the table trying to work out things on my computer, and you two are two of the people of many people that I have to go to say, what the fuck does that mean?
And we say turn it on. No, turn it off and on again. That's normally what we say. Yes. So it'll be interesting. I think when this goes forward, I'm going to be interested because that's Comixology is how I've been buying my comics. So see how it'll change for me over the next few months. See if I click on the app, because sometimes your apps update naturally, don't they? They sort of auto update. Will I click on this app and it'll be completely different? That's going to be something.
Well, this is a fear I've had for years, isn't it? That where's everything gone?
Yeah. I'd like to know how that storefront's working. I'd want to see that, because how books get pushed or not, it's all going to depend on that UI design.
Yeah. I mean, the way that they've they've worded it is like Amazon are creating a storefront for comics and manga, and this is going to be the place to get it now. That so and you would think, an Amazon shop for no matter what you think about Amazon, but it's for like publishing and stuff. Whether you like them or not, it's big dealings for Amazon to sort of say, here's a storefront for them. So it's going to be interesting over the next couple of years. If it doesn't do so well, what's going to happen?
There's a storefront for the popular selling manga comics, and we've got American.
I would also like to see that whole, if you like the digital, to have a sort of like, here's a link to the hard copy if you want a print copy. Nice. It probably won't have it because it'll probably concentrate on the digital only. But
might do, man. You might give you the option to buy both. Yeah.
So
it's throwing us into the sea of a lot of books, though. In a way.
Yeah.
There's a lot on Amazon.
Yeah.
And if we're putting our little comic on there, it's going to sink a bit, isn't it?
Yeah. And sometimes it's hard to know sort of what you want to read. Anyway.
Your book's going up against Demon Slayer, which outsold the entire US comics.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah. So yeah, we will keep you posted. I'll probably be ranting and raving or shouting it from the rooftops, depending on how.
As a creator, man, it's just fucking having to re-upload PDFs. It's like,
Yeah. So if you've got lots of comics set aside and you want to get them back on there, set aside some time. We'll be interested to see how many people don't want to do that, though. Because also we have talked about sometimes your energies are better spent moving forward.
Sometimes you don't want to go back and look. I haven't had it really, but I have from the comics I made in the 90s. I don't really want to go back and look at them, to be fair, sometimes.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So that's our kick-off, and I've probably been ranting and raving a bit then. Sorry, gents. And a bit of an info dump for you lovely people. Yeah. But we've not that kind of dump, although there's probably a bit of that on this show.
Little bit in your mouth.
So now I'm gonna let's start the questions off, and I'm gonna throw it to you chaps. Johnny Cannon, old pal Johnny Cannon. He says there's been a chat before about the look and feel of an indie comics movement across the UK growing out of regional small press clusters. How do you think that's going to evolve over the next couple of years? Do you see more creators spreading from self-publishing to publishing?
That's an interesting one.
E.g. John Lees, or a consolidation of talent within self-publishing, e.g. Tribute Press, or a mixture of both? Where do the opportunities lie for an aspirational talent?
Man, there's so much going on in that question.
Yeah.
That's my problem with
thanks,
it.
Johnny.
Thanks, Johnny. It actually goes to some of the questions we're going to talk about later about social media and stuff. I think there's no getting around the fact that COVID has confused, thrown a spanner into what was an emerging movement, I think, around the small press. And he's right when he says that the local hubs, of it, like the Glasgow, Edinburgh, the Bristol movement, the London movement, there's all these sort of little areas, aren't there? And I think that has been stopped a little bit in its tracks by the fact that we haven't actually seen each other.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, where in most areas this would have, other hobbies, this would have moved online, the place that we tend to still probably is Twitter, and Twitter is being jumped off like rats escaping a ship at the moment.
Very rapidly.
Yeah. And I think unless we do get back into that con scene and we find another home for ourselves, I think the movement will stall a little bit, I think. That's my thoughts.
The only kind of like silver lining I can see on that is if people have been creating over the lockdown and they're ready with these books to release them when it all starts opening up again, that might give us another wave of creatives at the scene. But I don't know if that's the case or not.
I don't know whether cons are going to be attended enough. I know that there's a certain big con coming up soon where I've had 3 phone calls asking me if I'm sure I don't want to book a table at it, which was absolutely unheard of previously.
You'd be lucky to get a table at it.
People were fighting to get in that one. Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe it's. I think people are still a bit reticent about turning up at conventions still. I know certainly a lot of the people at Nobrow are. Being in a place full of people,
I did that nuts run today, and when I've done it in the past, it's like a carnival. It's heaving. There's so many people. Yeah. This time it was like not even a third of the numbers. Really small turnout.
Yeah. And
that's like an outdoor event, so it's obviously having like quite an impact. As we know, we kind of knew it would, and will do.
And there's a lot of good people out there, and there's a lot of good people want to, I don't want to call it networking because I don't network. I just talk to my friends, I think, and Johnny's, I think, much of the same opinion because he's a good pal of mine and ours and everything. But I think, and I hate to say it, poor old Simon, the previous guest, Simon Myers, it's on his shoulders at the moment, to see how Meanwhile goes. Yeah. Any ideas how the Bristol thing went this weekend, Vince?
I didn't go.
Right.
I believe it went all right. From what I hear of some of the creators, they shifted some books, but yeah, I've got no. I don't know about numbers.
You've got no measure stick on it. Yeah.
In terms of this question, one of the things that I think people have to be careful about is certainly when Johnny says like the consolidation of talent within self-publishing. So basically creating your own little super groups of self-publishing. Do you know what I mean? Getting together, creating things. I think it's brilliant, but you need to be careful because you've got to make sure that you're all dancing to the same song sheet.
I had a chat with Al about this the other day, Al Henderson, he pointed out to us that we have become a little bit of a group ourselves. I hate to use the word clique, but kind of we are, and I don't like that idea.
Yeah.
I don't want to be part of a clique. I want to be open to everyone.
Yes.
Yeah. But the fact is we have,
Yeah. And certainly it's one of the challenges for this show, never mind the sort of comics in general, because obviously we've got our loyal listeners and stuff and all these brilliant comic creators, but we also want to get out to, because we've gotten to know so many amazing new creators because we've gone out there and we searched for them, and then and it's just for the joy of comics, isn't it, really? I don't think everyone should be like, I'm comfortable in this little cave I'm in and I'm just going to make comics like that.
Yeah. I think COVID maybe has made us a bit more international, which has been to our benefit. We've got people like Nathan, we've got JWC, we've got Eddie at Strangers. There's a lot of people now in our, area of friendship, I suppose.
Yeah.
Who we're sort of networking now, and I'm glad about that. But I genuinely think we've got Meanwhile, we've got the Lakes, we've got MCM, and we've got Thought Bubble. And if they all go well, then I think we'll be okay.
Yeah.
But if they don't, say for example Thought Bubble or the Lakes gets cancelled because for the right reasons, then we're going to be back on the back foot again, aren't we?
Big time, yeah, big time. I'm aiming a lot of the projects I'm working on now for Thought Bubble. So if that kind of gets pushed back, I don't know how it's going to affect my process. Do you know what I mean? It's like running for a finish line and suddenly the finish line gets taken away. Why am I fucking running?
You're running non-stop though, Dan. Like the amount of fucking comics you make is insane.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a lot I was tallying it up this week, trying to work out a bit of a workflow of like what I've got to do, and it's fucking big. There's a lot.
Yeah.
I haven't really done a comic like this from start to finish without it going up online. We did the first Viper. That was like we did it over a year, didn't we?
Yeah.
Like 10 and 10. But this is like sitting down, putting a comic out from beginning to end, and I am putting Vanguard book 4 together, and I've got an absolutely fantastic cover by Cliff that I want to get coloured and done, and so there's a lot going on, but good.
There's a lot to juggle when you do that sort of thing. I'm doing something at the moment, and I've just had a creator fall out of bed. Can't do something I hope they'd be doing for me in next month. So so you're thinking, what am I going to do now? Especially with Patreon as well, Dan, innit? You got to kind of keep the content going on there.
Keep the content going on. There's days when I've like not updated enough, I can kick myself. But what I should be doing is getting organised and like uploading 7 posts on a Sunday or Saturday, whatever, and let them run through the week. And I know I've got it covered. But
we tend to do a month ahead, which is quite nice, and then little extra ones we can drop in.
That's
nice. That's because we post. We have the pages in advance. But it's a funny scene, isn't it? It's I'm just hoping it's going to go well at all these conventions and everyone can get back together and start chatting and stuff, rather than doing what they're doing is just arguing on Twitter at the moment.
Because this whole Twitter thing's kind of caught me quite off guard. I didn't realise it was kind of the bottom was going to fall out of it so quickly. And it's kind of shit. This is how a lot of the small press lot stay in touch with each other. If this goes, what avenue is there to keep that up? And I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it's almost like we're going backwards, isn't it?
Yeah. Everyone's like, I guess we can do it. Let's carry on exploring Johnny's comic. There's still a lot in that. As well, if you refresh our memories again with that, V.
Do you see creators spreading from more creators spreading from self-publishing to publishing, e.g., John Lee's?
I don't, and I'll tell you why. There's no money in it at the moment. In the small, they're not in. I know there's money in comics, all right. Nobody ever go at me, but there's not that much money in some of the smaller publishing houses. Very often, there's nothing.
Yeah. You're better off kind of like just handling it. It seems the way at the moment is handling it yourself.
They're not saying that the companies, British and American, but if I had the opportunity to either publish through them or stick it on a Kickstarter myself, I know I'm going to make a lot more money. Well, I don't make the money, but the creators the artist is going to make a lot more money by just self-publishing.
Yeah. Was that thread this week about Hugo Boylan? Like Lucy Sullivan posted about Barking that it was running at a loss because just the way after fees and everything's done, and it's a hard one. I mean, like if you like getting a comic artist and they're charging £100 a page and you got 24 pages, that's like nearly $2,500 straight off the bat.
Yeah,
because he asked a question about where the money should go to, and it's like, well, really, you should have that sorted out before. That shouldn't even be a question you're asking your audience, really.
And when you got a publisher paying you 5 to 10% of the sale price of each book, then it's not worth it.
No,
you don't make any money on it. I know some big books, some books we've revered on here that have made the creators no money.
I think it's also extension. I think it's also an interesting question when, and rightfully so. We as creators and as supporters of creators, everyone should get paid what they deserve. That's what we've always said. But sometimes when it comes to when you ask people, what like for instance a Kickstarter fee, should it go to the creators, etc. And a lot of the answers will probably come from people like us who do these things. So naturally they have that this should go to the hard work that goes into it. We all agree that, but let's face it, for a gangbusters success to get beyond the bubble, there's people who do not give a shit and want the product.
Yeah,
they don't. They're not going to be like, I just want to buy my book.
You've got to be realistic.
I just want to buy my book. I don't care. I don't want to. It seems crazy, but some people will have the mindset of, I don't want to pay you to make the book. I just want to buy the book.
It's I think there's people being unrealistic about that, and not quoting any names, but a certain creator we know just charged an astronomical amount of money for a pin-up, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, mate?
Yeah, you're not going to get that.
You're just not going to get it. Be realistic.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just a really weird time, isn't it? I think. Hopefully these sort of times don't price out these wonderful creators, like especially writers who want to write stuff but can't afford artists. Hopefully things like this don't price those people out of doing it.
I think people got to realise your book has to sell for you to make money.
Yeah,
it's got to sell.
Yeah.
And it's like, I deserve £1,000 a page for that art I did. The book's got to sell, mate.
Got to sell, and you got to have a track record of being able to shift, because if you're asking for that amount of money per page, that fucking comic better fly off the shelves, because you met. It's a strange one, because like your talent may be absolutely exploding and you're worth every penny of that, but if people aren't buying the stuff you're putting out, or you've got no track record of it, it's kind of, I find that hard to justify that expense.
Yeah, I mean, it's that whole long discussed thing about how much is that page of artwork worth. And the amount it's worth is the amount that people are willing to pay for it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yeah. And in a lot of ways, I know there's so many. I mean, I'm moving more into digital art for like comic pages and stuff. But by doing so, there's a revenue stream completely gone, because there are artists like proper. Some of these big artists that we love. What they're getting when they sell their pages through an art dealer is more than what they got paid for doing those pages.
I know, and I think that's why a lot of them are moving. We've seen this move to people who sort of fall away from comics a bit because they're doing commissions.
Yeah.
We're
like, I wish they come back to comics, but they're making so much money out of commissions.
Yeah.
But that's only a pocket that is available for so long, I think.
Yeah.
There's only so many pictures I want of Spider-Man or Scarlet Witch or something by a particular artist.
There are probably, there's a few kind of evergreen will always be on that podium of they'll make big names. They'll make their like an Adam Hughes is making his living off what he's doing, like commissions and covers and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? He never knows. They never need to do another fucking comic again.
I can understand like the kind of. Not the word for it, not upset, but like if you're a writer, a comic, and you got an idea for a comic, and you go, right, I want to go Kickstart with this, you pay the artist out, you pay the letter out, you pay the editor out, and then you put the Kickstarter on, and it doesn't make the money, you're done.
It's a gamble, isn't it?
Yeah, the only way is to like say we'll make it when the money comes in, but then a lot of people, me included, don't like that.
No, I wouldn't want you to, man.
Very reticent.
Yeah,
because like I'm buying something on the idea that you're going to put it all together. And
you're being employed to do a page. You're not part of some business venture, as far as I can see. Do you know what I mean? If I want you to do a story for me, I'm paying you for it. I don't expect you to suddenly throw yourself into my business venture as to whether this comic will make money and then you'll get paid or not.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, a lot of the times it won't.
Yeah.
And I don't want you to your living being comic art. I don't want you to take a chance on your living.
No. The other thing of that is like if I pay you £100 a page, whatever the rate is, and the book goes fucking nuts, and I get 20 grand, I get the 20 grand, and I've paid you the money. Like you're not.
Yeah.
It was contract for hire kind of deal.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And if that happens,
it's a businessman. That's exactly what it is.
If I'm an artist, this never happened. But if I'm an artist and I've been I've been paid for my work, I've done my pages, and this book goes fucking gangbusters. But I signed on the dotted line. I should not be then going on a social media platform to fucking bitch about something when I have signed on the dotted line. I was fully. If I've read that fucking contract, I think that there's a lot of
that comic made fucking loads and loads of money, and they made a film out of it, and I'm not getting any of the residue rights. Is that in the contract?
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah. That's why when you have these people like Mark Miller, or they sort of like, I'm working on this thing, and people are very cynical about some of Miller's stuff. It's like, I've picked this artist, we're working on this, and when this becomes a TV show, when this becomes a film, the artist is getting a cut of it, much like me. Do you know what I mean? They're aware of that from the beginning.
Mate, what happened with Miller for me is everyone used to be sort of slightly cynical and say, oh, he's making that, to make a TV series. I'm fucking glad he is. I'll tell you why, because I want these dudes to make money out of it.
Yeah.
And he is a positive force these days.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
To be fair, if you get a good comic out of it and make a TV series which is not your fancy, you've still got the comic out of it.
Yeah.
What can you do? Yeah.
And also, if you're working for a publisher and your comic is doing okay, and that's paying the wages of the lady that cleans the offices, the receptionist, the editor as well, then don't go online and slag off the fucking artist. Because it'll stop people buying it.
Yeah.
You've got a problem at work, keep it at work.
Yeah, don't air it out on social media.
Fucking idiots. It's fucking that's one of the reasons I'm glad Twitter's going, because it's full of children.
Yeah. There's not more. We can move on to the Twitter subject now. We regularly fucking talk about how much we hate Twitter, and like I've read stuff.
Follow us on @theawesomepod on Twitter for daily updates.
I've read stuff in the past week that just like this is just an absolute propaganda tool that's just used to sow dissent and unhappiness within people, and that seems to be like for every one great interaction I have on Twitter, there's fucking loads I look at and just fucking roll my eyes and oh god, not
You're
this.
You're more likely to cause yourself trouble in your, let's call it, comics career. I'm doing that thing with my fingers by being on Twitter than you are.
It's like a zero-sum game. Like, what do you get out of it? It's and then I get to see that fucking Batman take once a fucking month. What happens if Bruce Wayne spent all these money on helping the homeless people of Gotham?
Come on, Dan, it's important.
Yeah,
it's my birthday. People who post that winds me up even.
I can't wait for the day when Twitter says Vince Hunt is his birthday today. People are celebrating it. You know, I want
you want that kind of notoriety.
I want all these people to be talking about how it's my birthday and how great I
want you to trend.
Even though I don't actually use social media that day and I don't really care.
A lot of
balloons go up.
Like creators are leaving.
Yeah,
Miller's left. Who was it today that went? A lot of them just like moving to their own either Substack or their own private place, or you get a newsletter where they can address you as an audience member, and you don't get to. One of the good things about Twitter was like I could interact with a big creator, and sometimes we get a bit of back and forth about it. But now that's the fucking detriment of it.
You
can pop at them.
Yeah, here's a bomb drop. Okay, take this as you will. But successful people don't use Twitter regularly. It is not their main. Yeah. Well, sometimes they'll have accounts.
Don't, or they're learning that's not the way.
Yeah. I mean, we've mentioned it briefly before. The big directors, big actors, and stuff. They rarely on it. Sometimes they get fired from their fucking jobs because they're on it.
Yeah.
And even if they're on it, they sort of rarely post and stuff.
Yeah.
And
this field of fucking digital lynch mobs that are looking for the next victim.
Yeah. And it's a problem with social media in itself anyway. That these things will, and the problems with Twitter will probably bleed onto other things eventually. It's the eventual degradation of any sort of platform, isn't it? When the bigger it becomes, the wider open the door is, the more crazies you let in.
Yeah, I'd say if I was a boss of a company, especially a comics company, I would follow everyone who worked for me, and I would look at their Twitter feed, and I'd go, "How long did it take you to have that conversation on Twitter about you fucking the jeans you're wearing, or look at me a selfie or whatever the fucking shit is?" And I say, "Well, you should be working, man. You should be working."
Yeah.
Well, we've got in most businesses now. You have a contract you sign about like your use of social media, and if you paint the company in a bad light, you're gone. That's a breach contract.
I think for all this, I think Twitter can be a tool used for good.
Well, we use it. The only positive thing I use it for is pushing this and pushing my new, or not pushing, but advertising my new comics.
Yeah.
And then dropping it and leaving. I don't want to get in a conversation.
But then we go back to the how much pull Twitter's got, and it seems to be that fucking statistic like 4% of comic readers have an active Twitter account. 4%.
4% of readers and 95% of creators.
Yeah.
So like you're constantly just talking to the same people all the time.
But it's an interesting platform.
I'm glad. I forwarded it to you because I signed up to his newsletter, didn't I? Miller, and I think the dude is the most switched on. Him and Bendis, they do it the right way on there, man. They really do. And when he left it, I thought that's a big sign. This dude's got big TV series, big movies coming.
Yeah, well, you can see the writing on the wall, can't he?
Yeah, very wise dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of them just leave him because he just didn't.
The only shame is he followed us.
We'll get him.
Yeah, eventually.
We'll get him.
I fucking get all flared up about that geese on the Hulk book as well, didn't it, this week?
That's what I was talking about. Yeah.
Oh dear. Although
drama of the day.
Yeah.
When Gabe mentioned how sickened it was about when the issue was done and all the artwork was complete. Not before then.
Yeah. When the series is finished.
Yeah, the series finished. Oh, this person was horrible. Could barely work with him. Managed to put the series to bed though. Yeah,
well done.
Yeah. Although sometimes you,
but Mr. Cynical here.
Yeah. You can discover some great things on there as well, like
cover of the day and all that sort of thing. And like
cover of the day,
and,
or when
Hulk covers.
Yeah, Karl Kerschl posts up a 5-page Superman short that you can read.
I was going to recommend that later because that was great.
Yes, we'll talk more about that. But that came about when I saw that.
You can leave
that
that
was on Twitter.
As an uplifter. After you've been bitching.
Yeah.
Can we do Matt Simmons' question?
Hell yeah.
Go on then.
Who's got it in front of them? Anyone?
I do. All right. Okay.
Matt,
I'll tell Matt. Mukbang,
go
get
first?
it.
Mukbang's great.
Yep. If you're going to make your ideal woman, like in Weird Science, what comics would you put in to make her personality?
Right. If I'm going to make my ideal woman, right?
Oh God.
The most gorgeous woman I can imagine.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Why would she need a personality?
Oh my God, he said it. I didn't think he was going to say it.
I'll do the comical check over my shoulder at the door. Say I'm putting my wife.
That was a joke.
That was it. Asking for trouble with that.
McDonald. There you go. That's my answer.
Yes.
That's his personality.
No. What comics would you put in to make
the person? Get the person.
He's in the comic.
The comic that you wrote. So you basically.
I'd probably dump in a bit of Calvin and Hobbes.
What for her personality? Really?
For like playful and kind of fun.
Right, Savile.
What and Caesar match.
The sentiment behind it. Not
Fucking hell.
I don't think I'm doing any fucking Atomic Hercules. No offense.
Some of the girls in the bar are right.
Oh God.
But if it's the comic as a kind of a whole thing.
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't put in something like Ed Piskor's Red Room, would you? Because you're in fucking trouble there, aren't you?
I want that in there, and that in the mix. Oh, Black Diamond's going in there. I'll tell you that now.
Yeah.
Femforce, yeah.
Black Sad. Let's get all furry up in this bitch.
Yeah. I was ever expecting that lady with a tail.
On my studio swimsuit special. It's going in there.
Yeah.
Red Sonja.
She cut your fucking head off.
Yeah, but sometimes it's worth it.
Yeah, but even it out with the Femforce. That takes some of the edges off that one.
Oh
yeah, that's true.
What's happening? What's happening?
God, it's quite an involved question. That I like that one.
Yeah, well done, Matt.
I have to have several cups of tea pondering.
I mean, sometimes we worry we're a bit lowbrow and quite crass on this show, and the crudeness is sometimes too much. So thank you for bringing us to the high quality content that we know you all deserve.
I'll sit down, think about that, and then I call my wife over when she's doing like washing up or when she's doing a job.
You sexist pig.
I've come to the conclusion to make the ideal woman, this is what comics I put into her, and then I'd look at her face and she fucking rolled her eyes.
The Commander.
Yeah.
The Commander.
Oh no, but I think ask your wife what comics she would put in for her ideal man.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Right.
If she says Atomic Hercules, then leg it.
Yeah. You know, that'd be interesting. Anyway.
What the hell?
Anyway, our old pal the fourth Beatle, Tom Curry, at this Chucklehead. He said, "What's your guilty pleasure in terms of comic or series? The stuff you know by all rights is rubbish, however you can't help but enjoy." Now, come on. Surely there's no guilty pleasures. If you like it, you like it, surely.
Yeah.
What ones wouldn't you read on the bus? I suppose.
What's the one with that author, really, the gaudy colours, and they're like, there's no speech, and it's like those kind of happy, smiling people violating each other. I started reading that on the train, and I was like, whoop, yeah, I don't want to read this one on the train.
Yeah, some of Richard Corbin's stuff, I think, is probably not for the train.
I mean, there's probably a lot of the books that we talked about last week with Jen Yilblad. Is
not
NSFW.
Could you get into shit? Say you was sitting there reading some fucking filth like that, and someone looked over and thought, bloody hell. Could you get in trouble for that?
I don't know. I don't think so. It's legal, isn't it? I never used to read Razzle Readers' Wives if I was sitting on the tube. You know, on the tubes that your back is against the window.
Yeah,
because they can see, even if you've got something in front of it, so they can see that. Yeah.
But now you don't care.
But I've paid for that. Why should other people get to fucking look at it?
Yeah, exactly.
Elbowing the bloke next to me, going, "Look at that geezer."
Oh my god!
There's probably some heavy metal things that I've gone, ooh, really?
I will actually say, like stuff that a lot of people would consider by all rights is rubbish. However, you can't help but enjoy. I think a lot of it goes back to that nostalgia. Sometimes when you go back to some older comics, you go back to a lot of older comics, you think, oh god, this is as good as the day. I remember this is beautiful. But sometimes you like it, and objectively, I don't think this is that great. But I absolutely adore it because some things don't age well. There's probably. I mean, I'm just gonna come out and say it. There's a shitload of stuff from Image in the '90s that will get slagged off, but I probably quite like
Force Works. I quite enjoyed Force Works.
That's some fucking crazy.
That.
Who was that? Because it had like basically main Marvel characters, and then they created that weird grey dude.
Yeah, it was a bit like the Vision, but a bit like of a magician. Yeah, I can't remember his name.
And it had Jay Lee. Yeah. Did it have Jay Lee art, or was it Jay Lee centric?
No, I can't remember.
It was they basically at that time, didn't they? Like they saw what Image was doing. It's like, let's just copy that.
Yeah.
They tried to get in a load of artists that did something similar.
I actually like some of the 2099 stuff. I like the 2099 Ravage. I'll read that.
Yeah,
I like
Spider-Man 2099 is fucking great.
I like the Punisher one. I like the X-Men 2099. I don't mind all that.
Well, I mean, certainly, there's a lot of people when they talk about the X-Men, they won't necessarily talk about mid-90s runs or stuff. I mean, they'll talk about. I mean, I love the Joe Madureira artwork, but that will get talked about more than the actual stories. But when I was in it, I was fucking neck deep in it, and I loved it. For me, like the Phalanx Covenant and stuff like that, I was all about that. And when Sabretooth became a sort of good guy, the first time he became a hero, kind of. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I was all about that. That was brilliant at the time.
That was Age of Apocalypse as well, wasn't it?
They originally did that in Age of Apocalypse, and then it filtered through to like the sort of actual.
Do you remember the New Universe when that came out? DP7. Do you remember DP7?
I can remember seeing the adverts for it, but I didn't really get invested in it at all.
I got into that. Yeah, I got into
They're good?
The not really. Bits and pieces. Yeah. I've got a page of it on my wall here, actually. Sorry?
At some point. Didn't Quasar go to there? Or was that, I'm thinking something else?
Don't think so.
The New Universe for a bit and jump back.
Quasar went a bit ropey for a while, didn't it? Yeah.
Didn't really know
Mike Manley came off it. Yeah.
But I was all into the, what was the name of those? Was it Impact Comics? And
I didn't mind the Comet and
they seemed like
characters.
Traditional kind of comics back in the day. The comics your dad would read as it were, like the Fly was essentially the Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Well, they were mostly a series of characters that were bought previously from Archie Comics.
Gotcha.
They've had a couple of goes at restarting them. Red Circle tried about 10 years ago to restart them again with the Web. Do you remember the Web?
Yeah, I remember the Web. Yeah.
Yeah, the Fly, and then the was it the Jaguar? What was the name of the woman character?
Yeah, Jaguar.
They tried that. I've got one. Is Marvel UK towards the end there?
Yeah.
Good old John Freeman, but the stuff like Battle Tide 2 and all this sort of die cut versus, and all these sort of things versus Motormouth. And there's quite Genetics, this sort of thing.
Oh, God, when they used to use the word X, the letter X instead of...
everything. I'm in the minority, but I fucking hate Death's Head 2's design.
Right, okay.
You are in the minority? Dan,
I thought everyone really.
No,
really
I will
liked that
hold
design.
your hand and run into the sun, my friend, because Death's Head 1 is amazing. I do not like the Death's Head 2 design. I think it's rubbish.
I remember when it came along, I was like, no, it's not for me.
It's like
this isn't Death's Head.
Yeah, it's like someone's tried to ink a Frank Frazetta painting badly. Sorry, I've just said that out. Sorry.
And put
sorry.
Predator's head on top.
Yeah. Fair play. Actually, to be honest, there's probably nothing wrong with the design, but it wasn't my Death's Head. There you go. That's the right way to put it.
Don't pull back on it. Come on. Yeah. Let it breathe.
Let the hate breathe.
The Malibu comics.
Fucking Prime.
Some of that stuff.
Fucking Prime was my jam. Like Malibu
Prime,
comics. Yeah. That's fucked up, man. I remember getting the first
Prime's
issue of
really
Prime.
good.
Yeah, Prime is mental.
I had a couple of long boxes down the other week and like reading some of that, and there's a bit where he like saves the girl and takes him out from her class. She's like, this is a bit fucking weird because he's like a fully grown adult when he's Prime.
Yeah,
it's like a Shazam thing.
But like if he gets hurt and stuff, he's like made out like weird green goo, isn't he? He sort of melts.
It's like vomit out.
It's like body horror. It's like, yeah.
Good, yeah, love it.
Yeah, everyone should.
Was that Norm Brayfogle who did the art?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
He can fucking do muscly dudes.
Yeah,
that dude.
Yeah, it's actually I think it's a personal fave cover of mine. The Prime #1 actually. It's so simple.
Oh, it's really.
What was the Gibbons? What was the cover that Dave Gibbons did?
Was that? Did he do something like Hardcase or something like that?
Hardcase, that's right. Yeah, that was not a bad character.
Yeah,
that was a good one.
And then was it Prototype? Was there sort of Iron Man analog?
Yeah.
There
was the Strangers, weren't they? And they were like a team of superheroes.
That's quite nice art.
Was Rune? Was that one?
Rune came later in it, so that was a Barry Windsor Smith thing. Yeah, that was part of there. Was it Bravura?
Guys, let's have an issue 1 Malibu episode. Come on.
Oh, that's good. I like that idea.
Yeah, man, I'd have to fucking go attack eBay for some of that.
Yeah.
But I'm well down for that.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Like the brave attempt at a new unit in a kind of new universe in a world before what we are now. That was yeah.
Well, let's do one from Malibu and one from one other company. What's the other company we could do? What would be the other one who just suddenly broke out?
We could do that Impact.
Yeah. Because not many did back in like those mid-90s.
Well, you got Valiant.
Yeah, there was Valiant.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Comico or First Comics.
Yes.
They did like a Nexus.
Probably get into the superheroes.
Yeah.
We'll have to have a look through.
We'll have
Malibu's a good one.
Yeah. We'll have a look through.
Who put out the X-Mutants?
Was that early Malibu? That was before they got.
Was that?
Yeah, I've got.
No, that I just got mixed up with the Next Men from John Byrne.
What about Now Comics? We're going to be talking about Now Comics.
What about the Dark Horse comics? Remember with the Barbed Wire, X, Ghost,
Barbed Wire, yeah.
What was the kaiju one they did? What was the kaiju thing?
Oh, God.
Yeah, that was good stuff.
Answers on the postcard,
and then you had
please,
Legendary, didn't you? Which was Byrne, Miller, Adams. Monkey Man, and O'Brien.
Oh God,
the Next Men. You had all that stuff. Yeah, we could easily do a first issue from one of those sort of things.
Yeah, nice one.
Yeah,
let's go on eBay, boys.
Yeah, to eBay we go. Hold on, we've got to finish the show. Next question from Steve Sims. Massive shout out to Steve Sims. I
got my book through this week.
The Battle Badgers, the collection is hitting sort of doorsteps and shelves. And if you listen to this.
It's rare that you get a Kickstarter book through that is going to find a space on your shelf.
Yeah.
A lot of them, because if it's just like a shitty trade or a comic, it doesn't go up on the shelf for me. But that's a nice fucking hardback.
Yeah. I've had that delivered to my work.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I can't fucking see that yet.
I got that and some. I got a couple of omnibuses this week, and I got that arrive, and it sits happily next to them.
Yeah.
Like Marvel omnibus.
Great, and the book it looks beautiful itself. Can't wait to sort of read it. Loads of great back matter as well, so we'll probably be recommending it in a future episode. But so, and if you're not following Steve and Battle Badgers, Steve Sims and Battle Badgers, do so. But he said, a question for your peeps: do you prefer new work and ideas from a creator, or a continuation of their current product and series?
Yeah, I saw that one. I think genuinely, I think it depends on who the creator is.
Yeah,
I think so. There's a few out there like, what are they doing now? Why can't they go back and do that?
Yeah.
It's a bit like that with some, but some of them like, what's new from them?
Yeah. I like things to end and new things to start.
Right.
You know what I mean? Rather than, oh, I've got to keep doing this thing because that's where the money is, and no one gives a shit about anything else I do. You know, like kind of like a musician comes on stage and goes, everyone loves this one, and everyone starts booing. So sing the fucking song we know.
There's that famous story about Neil Young. Have you heard this one where he goes on stage and he's got this new album and it's off the back of he's come out of like big critical hits, big chart hits, and he's got this album and he says, and he plays the whole album and he gets booed and people are shouting, "Play something we've heard before." So he plays the whole album again.
Brilliant.
No, that's like pissing off your fans.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I think with this sort of question though, I think it's down to characters, isn't it? Because these days there are so many great creators who are putting out like, especially like almost self-contained stories or self-contained arcs. Like Cullen Bunner's got so many like different types of stories. He's constantly putting out like new sort of like, it's a new horror book here, or he's doing something else here, with these different publishers. And it's great to see those different things. But if you are, I think this speaks more to, if you're a creator, like you, Dan, for instance, known for Vanguard, but now you've started, you're dabbling in other work as well. Are there going to be people that just want you to just make Vanguard and nothing else? Or are there the sane people, like the rest of us, who any new work from yours is exciting? But what you've chosen to do, I think, is interesting, because Vanguard is a character-centric book. It is very. I know it's a teen book, but it is very much almost that franchise, that brand kind of mentality. It's like an X-Men or a super team, and your like Viper is also a character book. It's not. You're not doing a 4-issue miniseries about a serial killer in Mississippi or something like that. Do you know what I mean? It's not like not something like that. And I think when people want to see new stuff from creators, they almost want to see new characters, don't they, from a creator, rather than, if you stepped away from Vanguard to do a small, not really character-centric book, how do you think that would go down?
Know. I really don't know. It's a tricky one there. You step away from kind of what people like.
You're taking a chance, aren't you?
Yeah.
But should that be an exciting thing that people should do more? Because you should never really be sort of. We always sort of say make what you want to make, isn't it? Really.
One of the examples of that is Jeff Smith, when he did Bone and then he went on to Razzle and you're like, wish you'd do more Bone.
Yeah, do more Bone.
Yeah.
Some people I'm like. I was thinking about this last week with Pete Milligan. Pete Milligan's a really good writer and I enjoy his writing, but I really hope that something sticks from him and we get a nice run of comics from him. Yeah. On these short minis and one-offs and stuff, whether it be with Aftershock or Black Crown. And I just want something that I can get my teeth into every month from him.
That's one thing I like about the creator-owned stuff. It's kind of that unicorn creation of everything they're about is that, and if it goes down well, we're going to get more and more of it, whereas it's not dependent on a committee all pitching in their ideas, and if it doesn't sell well, it gets fucking knocked on the head.
There must be there's plenty of examples of victims of your own success in your own way, isn't it? Like when you're doing one type of thing, and it was probably a lot back in the day when someone's known for drawing Spider-Man all this time, and they do something else. People are like, we want you to go back to Spider-Man, but you don't want to. You don't want to because you've moved on from it. And I can totally understand. Creatively, you can and do move on from things.
But you're going to get a pay for that, don't you? It's going to be a big payday for you if you go. If McFarlane went back to Spider-Man, for example, we know he'd do well for a 6 months.
With that, I think someone posted up that gatefold cover that Larson did of Amazing Spider-Man, and that's just that for me was when his fucking penmanship and work was that it's absolute apex. Don't want to take away from what he's doing now, but like this, the level of detail and craft in those comics were just when I read them as a kid, I was just fucking amazed by him.
Yeah. So it's certainly interesting, isn't it? Like.
It's horses for courses, isn't it? To a certain extent, I think.
Yeah.
And
I think it probably, with this sort of thing, do you think it factors in more for art? Definitely more for artists, because it's such a visual medium. I would argue that it's maybe more for artists because.
I mean, can you go home sometimes? That's the thing as well, isn't it? Can you go back home to something? So,
I mean, I've heard stories of like Mark Waid did The Flash for a long time and it was really good. He went away, came back, and it wasn't. His second time wasn't. You can't.
Claremont's gone back to the X-Men area a few times, and it's not really.
No, it's not the same.
Yeah,
because you're a different creator in a different headspace and from a different time. It's.
But does that also almost not tarnish is the wrong word, but I'm going to use it for this sentiment. Does it almost tarnish your brand because just say you got a Claremont and you've made all these years of X-Men and it's fantastic, and you go away and you come back and the second time is a disappointment.
Yeah,
people are going to be like, So when they eventually sort of say Claremont's back on the X-Men, how many more people are going to care? Have you lost? A chunk of readers.
It's kind of doing the old card analogy, like twisting when you're 19.
Yeah.
It's like you're at the top, and everyone thinks it's a great comic run. Why go back and potentially fuck it up?
Yeah.
Little to gain, a hell of a lot to lose. Interesting.
Yeah. Good luck to all you people out there making whatever you're going to make. Well, as long as you make
and sometimes something is good because you hit that moment in society and culture where it really hits, and it's a combination of a lot of things, not necessarily that you are the fucking god of writing or art or anything. It's just that you happen to be in the right place at the right time sometimes.
Yeah totally.
Because I mean, that Jim Lee #1, would that do the numbers now or when it at the time? It wouldn't.
No.
Same with a lot of the stuff, like the creators from the sort of the 80s, 90s, where they're doing absolutely fucking amazing numbers. I don't think they'd get a look in now because it's so different.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's not being down on them. It's just
being down on the whole industry.
It's a different world now. That's it.
Different world, completely different world.
Yeah. But let's bring it back up.
Should we move on to Superman?
Oh well, we'll get into that. Yes, we're going to talk about Superman in a minute. One last one from Neil Johnson. He said, I've often heard you guys talk about making a comic for yourself rather than making something that's appealing to everyone. However, when putting out a comic that you want to be well received, it might be useful to know what your target audience wants.
Yes.
Do you have any advice on how to strike a good balance between meeting your own creative aims whilst making something that's well received by more than a handful of people?
I don't, because I'm terrible at that. I should be better at it, but I'm not. Like, I honestly
you've washed yourself in the don't give a fuck mentality, which is the almost the lifeblood for tribute anyway, isn't it? It's
that's one of the reasons people love it so much.
It's the punk rock guerrilla edge that just bleeds out of every page of tribute.
Mostly their anus.
Yeah, which is the worst place.
But you know as much that people what people would like. There's a line in where to cross it and where not to, and do you know what I mean?
I'm going to record that just for legal reasons, just in case I get to.
But I think also there should be no shame in, if your comic has a certain type of content, leaning into that content for a target audience. I mean, I know we talked about the Saucier comics last week, and certainly if you're making those kind of comics, you know what your audience is, and you're probably making more money than all of us. Well done. No, but also you have things like on the other side of the scale, Mike Norton's Battle Pug. It's a fucking Conan the Barbarian story about a dude riding a giant pug dog, and where he also, I remember he heard stories about how he went to dog shows to sell it, because that's an audience that will be interested.
Yeah, man, buy that shit.
Tribute Press are soon appearing at the Satanic Flea Fair, or whatever it is.
Yes.
As well.
Oh, yeah. Satanic Fleas. Oh, that'd be worse, wouldn't it? There's a story there. Come on, dude, you got to write.
Adam's going to put black tape over his nipples, and I bought a black T-shirt. That'll be right, won't it?
Yeah. He doesn't have to, though, does he? He just does it.
Could you kind of like do your kind of beard moustache into like twirl up at the end, so you look kind of like devilish?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Maybe like make it a point into the bottom.
Yeah, I'll just talk about talking about anal and things a lot.
Yeah. Classic Satanism.
Yeah.
The classic Sunday night.
I feel like you need to kind of understand, like, if you're making a comic, what will work and what don't, and if it structurally works and if it's funny, there's good humor in it, there's shocks and surprises, that's going to do well. What you don't want to do is put out, oh, I reckon I could tell a good Spider-Man story, and here's my Iraq Man comic. It's just a thinly veiled knockoff and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, there's only one of you in the world, and you're the one who can tell the story that's inside you. You just have the skills of getting it from out of your head onto the page, and that's going to be infinitely more interesting than seeing some fucking rehash or
just making it because you think science fiction's popular or something. And I think the only thing I would say that Neil needs to is in his question, I think, is which is a good question. I think he needs is age appropriateness. I think it's an important part of it.
Yeah.
And knowing kind of, Pat talks a lot about this. He did a lot of research around Spacewalk, around the age of kids he'd like to sell it to.
Yeah.
And what they like. And I think that's a good thing to do sometimes.
Yeah.
Not appropriateness, but
no.
I don't know. You know what I mean? Well, that as well, but also what do kids like these days?
You got to kind of read the room as well. Don't bring out fucking Walking Dead like a zombie comic when Walking Dead is.
And put a bit of legwork into if you know what your audience is. Your audience, you know who your target audience is because you're making the book that you want to read. So your target audience is you. Imagine there's a room full of you. How would you receive that? What wins you over? Yeah, what wins you over? And
there's too many clones of other styles out there. That's the problem at the moment.
And there's
if
too
I
many.
see another
a lot
comic,
of yeah.
If I see another comic that's like Steven Universe, I'm going to fucking scream.
But I switch off when I see for fans of, and then there's a big list of, or do you like Watchmen? Then you should read this book, and then it talks about the book. Don't never name check something bigger, more famous before you talk about your book. And people do though, don't they? And I just because if you like this, then you'll like my book. Well, I do like that, so I'm going to go off and read that instead.
I wonder if they've got any of that here. Yeah.
Doesn't kind of go hand in hand. You're right. Like it's not an instant sort of sale.
Yeah. So just imagine that, Neil. A room full of you. What a room! That's a room where you want to be in.
Like keeping up with TV nowadays, and a lot of people say, "Oh, it's going to have like a Game of Thrones feel." It's like that fucking ended ages ago, and it didn't end fucking very well.
Yeah,
so why
you stay away from that reference.
It's got like a kind of Game of Thrones feel.
Yeah.
You could say it's got like a Dune-esque backstabbing feel.
But that's also that's going to have a shelf life. We're going to have a lot of that soon. We're going to get a lot of those references. Yeah.
Watch the martial arts movies that spin out now.
Yeah. For fans of Mr. Nanny, that's what I'm going to have on my comics.
Yeah. Mr. Mum.
For fans of Sybil Danning.
Mr. Nanny, and there's a clip
where someone throws a dog in a lake? Yes.
Of course there is. Also, talking about martial arts someone was talking about martial arts and they said, oh, look, here's Cynthia Rothrock here. And I clicked on it. It was like a KFC ad from the 1980s with her in it.
Oh, wow.
She's eating like KFC and then she does like a kind of karate chop on a brick.
What?
Oh, you got you a gig with KFC. What have we got to do?
Yeah.
Eat a chicken leg and break a brick. Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
How much?
She eats a brick and breaks someone's leg.
I can kind of understand why she went over to the East to find her fame and fortune rather than staying in the US where you get to do fucking KFC ads.
It's finger looking good. Yeah. So there you go. There was a good hour of us.
Was it? Bloody hell. We've done that. There is one other question.
Go
on the Facebook.
Go for it.
From Zach Cobb. When is Vince going to do it?
I knew you were going to do that. I knew you were going to do that. I was thinking about that and I thought, I need to plan. Yeah, I do need to plan something.
We had a dance off, didn't we, earlier?
Yeah. We do have a little bit of a dance every week. I should have recorded that.
Patron only. And a few quid out of it.
OnlyFans.
Get down tonight.
Yeah. Actually, maybe we'll have a dance next week and
I could wear my wrestler mask.
And yes, and we'll record it. Yeah, because I need to do it. Look, I'm fully aware of it. It's one of the things that hangs over my head.
One of the charity.
One of the many things that hang over my head. Well, people gave money to charity. I'm not feeling bad about that.
Anyway, yeah, it's already been given. Yeah. I do like some of our listeners and chums who just sort of throw hand grenades in. God bless him. Phil does it all the time. The Ludology. He is the master of throwing hand grenades.
Yep.
Yeah, he does make me laugh sometimes.
Yes. But after that hand grenade, to some shouts. Do we have any shout-outs this week, Chance?
I've got a couple.
I've got
one.
one.
Do mine?
Yeah,
okay. Go for it.
Jasper Juberville, Dynamite Diva is storming Kickstarter as we talk. Definitely the hotness. You need to get on this, whether you like ladies with thick thighs or not. But get on it. It's brilliant. Jasper Juberville is put out by strangers, a buddy of ours, so go on and have a look at that. I think maybe the postage can be quite a lot. Just beware of the postage from the States. I'm a big fan of it, so I've plumped. Prepared to pay it, but you can get a digital-only copy, so do that and see what happens. But yeah, it's going to be great. My second one is a bit more of a personal one, is episode 100 of Never Iron Anything drops this week. Hey. Thanks to everyone who's participated, and both you two guys have. Thank you, guys. And commented and listened. There's a lot of work goes into that podcast. You wouldn't appreciate it, but a lot of research. It doesn't sound like that. There's not a lot of editing goes into it, but there's a lot of research goes into it. And I've had a real fun time doing it. So thanks to everyone who has joined in some way or other. Okay, that's my two.
There you go. My one is the Kickstarter for No Brainer issue 2.
Oh yeah, I'll pledge that
from our pal Edison Neo. It's the Kickstarter for 1 and 2. If you missed out on issue 1, it's a solo anthology series featuring stories of different genres and styles by the same creator. We love Edison's work. We actually got a sneaky behind the scenes peek of what the second issue is like, and it's got one of my favourite short stories I've read in quite some time, involving salmon. Make of that what you will, but this is, he's an absolute
He drew
machine.
me a great Blackjack Tar. Blackjack Tar, incidentally, the character is currently sitting by his phone wondering why nobody's called him, but that's another story.
Amazing. And I've got one from McCready from him. So it's
cool.
It's, an absolute machine, and one of the nicest guys ever. So yeah, go follow No Brainer 1 and 2 on Kickstarter. Go pledge for it. Already smashed it. He's already smashed it.
Smashed it in about an hour, didn't he?
Yeah. So, but there's 24 days left to go as we speak now. So get on it, because he's a creator that is going to go from strength to strength. Dan, do you have one this week?
No, my only one is that Superman one.
Well, let's put that as a shout out then, because this is Karl Kerschl, isn't it?
Yes.
But take it away.
Let me just click on it. Scott Kurtz and Karl Kerschl, they did a fan written project, and they drew this. Is it a 4-page comic? 5-page comic.
5-page comic,
which you can read, which will pop on the link, and it's a fantastic story about Superman and. I don't want to spoil it. I wanted to sort of tweet it at Stuart Mulrain and said, "Look at this. This is your cup of tea."
Yeah.
And it's like the Superman you want to see. I don't want to see some fucking grim dark.
Do you know what? For that short time Bendis was on it, it was good comics.
Yeah.
Really, really enjoyed it. Yeah.
I like it when you see his humanity rather than his majestic heroics bore the fuck out of me. It's the moment where someone goes, "How do you know that? Did you grow up on a farm?" And
I want to see the classic costume with the red trunks.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in kind of like the sometimes they deck him in like the Jim Lee style suit where it's like almost metallic with seams on it. So it is what it is. Embrace it. Don't try and act like you're kind of scared of it. And
I think they withdrew the costume, didn't they? Which had Superman wearing a Jim Lee rucksack.
There was actually a cover that was done recently. I'm trying to find it on my feed now because I retweeted it, and it was Superman and Lois, which was just absolute purity. It was just it was a variant cover, and forgive me, I'll have to put it in the show notes. Can't remember the artist now, but I remember I sent a picture to you guys, didn't I?
You did. Yeah. We've got on the WhatsApp.
Well, we'll dig that up in the show notes, because sometimes it's just in these one-off pieces of art that you truly see the the character that you want to see. Do you know what I mean? It's amazing stuff. So yeah, you definitely need to check out this story because it's fucking brilliant.
Lovely little read, yeah.
Yeah, a lovely little read. J. Totino Tedesco. There you go. It was a variant cover for Action Comics number 1035. Bloody hell. And it's lovely. It's just bloody lovely. Speaking of lovely, it's time to recommend some comics. Tony, you got 2, so do you want to top and tail us, babe?
Yeah, no worries, yeah. So I've got my first one is Party and Pray, published by Aftershock, not so far published, coming up soon. 97 pages, colour. I'm guessing it's going to be in a similar format that we talked about with God of Tremors last week. That sort of BD format, magazine size. It's written by Steve Orlando and Steve Fox, art by Alex Sanchez, colours by Juancho Valles, letters by Hassan Otsamani Elahu. I got a digital preview through, and it's described as a queer thriller. Content warning, because it is there's some brilliant violence in it, to be fair. It's I initially thought I'd guessed the story. I'm going to say that, and I'll give you just a little talk through, and you might think of the movie that it might be similar to. Okay. So Alan is an older guy, but you can see he sort of hits the gym. He's got muscles, and he's gone to a gay club looking for a younger guy. That's his choice. He says it's his sort of type, and he meets an older guy who they have a moment together. Let's call it. Well, the other guy reaches into his pants and feels his knob, and he says, "No, you're not my type." And this other guy says to him, "Look, grow up, man. What are you doing?" He actually meets a guy called Scott, and they drink at the bar, but it feels too easy at that point. Scott feels out of Alan's league, if you see what I mean. Alan goes off to the loot, and Scott roofies him. They head back to Alan's mansion. It turns out he's got this mansion, and while showing him around, you feel that there's something wrong. There's something going on here. He's been roofied. He's showing him around. You're waiting for the drugs to hit his system and for him to pass out. And just as they begin to get intimate, he passes out, leaving Scott there. And Scott drops a bag of tools on the floor next to Alan's head. And at that point, I thought, does that ring any bells for you guys? Just out of interest.
No.
Anything? No. Have you seen the movie Hard Candy?
Oh,
no, I've not seen that.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes.
So I was thinking, is this Hard Candy? Are they rerunning that sort of scenario?
Yeah.
She's taking revenge on him. He's taking revenge on him. But there's much more to it than that. The dude who earlier had sort of basically told Alan off about, only looking for these much younger guys, has seen the roofie happen, and much to his better judgment, he goes and tells the police. He says, "Look, I'm not really the sort of guy who comes to the police and tells them, but this is a worry." And he meets this female detective who gets involved in it. And that's where I'll leave you with the story. I don't want to spoil it because it's not out until October, but it's there's much more to come from that, and there's other people who would join the story after that. I mean, that's only 20 pages in a 97-page book.
Yeah.
I really was working out what was happening. It's one of those books where you think, why is this? It does get you thinking. I think the art I've sent it to you guys to have a look at. You can have a look at it if you want. But it's that he's using models, I think, the artist, and on occasion the inking gets a little muddy, a tiny little muddy on it, but there's definitely a presence to everyone he's using as the players in this sort of play inside this house. There's a leanness to the people who need to be lean. There's a muscularity to the old dude who's just a fucking force of nature at one point. He sticks a load of needles in his leg and he just becomes, almost hulks out at one point. I was trying to think who I think he's a bit like, and the only one I could come up with is some of the stuff from Accident Man. Do you remember Duke Myton? Do you remember his stuff?
Yes. Yeah.
A little bit like a looser version of that, maybe.
Okay.
A little bit more messy. There's one page which I really enjoyed, which is a view through a cracked glass in a door, and you get that shattered image of the person on the other side. Just beautiful, really good. Better than the cover, I think. I think the cover, that would have maybe a bit abstract if you're seeing it on a digital shelf. The actual cover they got probably works better, to be fair. I think their marketing might have it spawn, but it's an amazing image. It's full of violence and knives and injections and just blunt force trauma and blood and sex, and it's dark and it's very, very brutal, just twisted. At points you think, fucking, they're just gonna die here, you know. I'm coming for you, boys, and I'm gonna eat you raw. At one point someone shouts.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's just a force of nature for a book. It's an interesting concept. It's something that is completely out of my personal experience. You know, I've not been to this sort of place. I don't really know how it works, but Orlando brings it. All the creators really realise it well, and you feel the heat in the disco, and you hear the echoes in the halls of the mansion and stuff like that. It's good. I think it's a good book, and it'll be an interesting experiment. It's not just a thriller. I'd put it probably more towards the horror than the thriller, but it does keep you guessing. There are twists that keep coming as you go along. Yeah, it's a horror comic that begins in a gay club, which is just not something I've seen before. And thanks to Ashley at Diamond for sending it through. So 2 weeks Aftershock have got a shout out from me, so that's good. Yeah, it goes on sale 19th of October, and it shows itself as an 18 plus for sales wise. I think that's a Comixology thing. But yeah, it's well worth looking for. Yeah, it's called Party and Pray from Aftershock. There you go, it's my first one.
Nice. Aftershock do some great books, man.
They're kicking it at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah, they really do. And I'll go next because mine's just going to be a quick, tasty one by another fantastic publisher, Vault Comics, and it is issue 3 of Barbaric. Written by Michael Morisi, art by Nathan Gooden, coloured by Alison Duke, and this is the final issue of the first three. The 3-part arc that is the first story for Barbaric. There is going to be an oversized hardcover coming soon. I've already pre-ordered it because I absolutely fucking love this story. In issue 3, everything's gone to shit, and what else is new for a barbarian cursed to do good who has to follow the commands of a bloodthirsty axe? It's just that today's a little worse. With Owen's back against the wall and his enemies eager to chop him to bits, things are looking especially grim as the first arc of Barbaric comes to a close. This one, there are necromancers, there are ghosts, there are monsters, there are giant spectral snakes, there are illusions, there is fire, there is brimstone, there is... Basically, it's almost like a Conan story that takes place where the Nazgul come from in Lord of the Rings. It's like that sort of that castle where the ring wraiths come from. It's almost like someone stood outside that and decided to put a Conan story there. And it does get brutal and violent, and there isn't a lot of death, as the axe who gets drunk on blood has an awful lot of blood to drink. And it's great as well. It's just another... We've talked about it a couple of times. I think I've mentioned every single issue of this so far on this show. But I just love the humour in this book. There's always several layers to what they're talking about, as well as the story itself. There's witches as well, and a character that if anything sort of threatens him, he's just like, oh, fuck off. He's one of those sort of anti-heroes. He's got a sort of crazy over the top haircut and beard. He's got an axe that's got a fucking face that talks to him, and it ends with a brilliant sort of tune in for the next. It's a cliffhanger, but not in a sort of like it leaves you wanting more instead of oh god, what's this mystery? It's more like, oh, I can't wait for the next movie, that kind of thing. Yeah, I absolutely love Barbaric. It's been great. They have been oversized issues, I want to say. They've been like 38, 40 pages each one. So already, although it's only 3 issues going into this trade, that's already like a 90 page, probably 100 page sort of book. So it's going to be a lovely little hardcover. You can tell that the team are having fun with this. And can't recommend it enough. If you haven't read it already, go back and read all of Barbaric while you can. Because I think, I'm not sure. Yeah, with Vault, the previous issues, they don't really drop in price. You know how some publishers, publishers they do, don't they? I think what I talked about last week, I checked out because the first couple of issues were cheaper.
Marvel does, yeah. Image does,
yeah. But Vault, they all seem to be £3.19 currently. But whether you wait for the trade or read them digitally, you're gonna have a good time with this. And sometimes comics just need to be a fucking good time. You know, this is a. If it was a film, it was like get some beers in and just enjoy some fucking carnage. Yeah, love it. Dan, what would you like to recommend?
Beastmaster.
Oh yeah.
With Mark, what's his name?
Singer.
Out of V.
Yeah.
I started watching a film with him called Cyberzone this week. I had to turn it off after 10 minutes. It's terrible. Awful. And I watched some shit. Not nothing as bad as you, Tony. But like,
I don't know. Yeah. He did a sci-fi movie called Phoenix, didn't he? Which was a bit like that as well. A bit low budget. Yeah.
Okay. My one is a comic called Ghostwriter by Edwin Burrows. What the fuck is that? So I've got like the broadband cable, the Ethernet cable going out the door. Suddenly it's yanked up in the air. I think one of the cats having a pop at it.
Oh, that's because you're talking about ghosts.
Yeah, Ghostwriter by Edwin Burrows, and on the cover it's got his name scored out. It's got Mr. Ghost, and it's mature content for not for kids. And it's essentially the story of a ghost who's a ghostwriter at like a publishing house, and obviously he steps in and does the ghostwriting duties. And for this next job, he gets introduced to a YouTuber. He wants to come up with a fantasy novel, and the YouTuber ain't got any fucking idea about what he wants. So I'll do this, do that. I'm just going to poll my followers to see if they think that's a good idea or not. And the ghostwriter's getting absolutely fucked off of it. And he goes home every night, complains to his wife, saying, I hate this, I can't do it anymore. And she keeps on like, no, keep going back, keep doing it. And the situation just gets worse and worse when he goes back to work, and he has to interact with this YouTuber who's now like doesn't even start turning up, and has to like call him or tweet him or send him messages about how he's out here or out there, not putting any work in, while this ghostwriter's fucking busting his ass off at this job he hates. And I don't want to spoil the ending and where it goes, but it's really nice. I left a comment on a Comic House that it's a great comic. I found the main character very relatable indeed, and I'm sure if you read it, you'll get that too. It's only like I think just over a dozen pages and stuff, but it was really good. I think I'm going to try and track down some more stuff by Edwin Burrows, because I really enjoyed this. So check it out on comichouse.com.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
There you go. Tony, what's our last one?
Jinx Freeze, which is the new Avery Hill book on the way, which is created by Lord Herc, not his real name. It's in shops in the UK on the 7th of October and the US on the 12th of October. 128 pages, perfect bound. It's only $12.99, $16.95 in dollars. I've been waiting for this one from Avery Hill. I really like this creator. I discovered him, I think, around about Christmas this year, and bought a couple of things of his, which I recommended back then. He's very wacky, very idiosyncratic. These pages are like cheese dreams, like lysergic acid dreams of someone like Klaus or Shaky Kane or something like that, you know. It is littered with absolutely mental creations, and they also have quite funny names as well. From the introduction by Not, in brackets, Ludwig Lovegarden. That's a great name, isn't it? Famed author and leading criminologist. You know you're not in Croydon anymore at this point, I'm just going to say. Crime is naughty and on the whole quite silly, he says. Lovegarden tells you. He's grabbed and thrown out of the panel by some... he's black and white, by some colour characters, and they call him 20th Century Fuck and throw him out the window. There's a character called King Giant Head Fighter Policeman OX, who has a huge plastic head and can transform into a giant robot. He goes to see the chief, who he wants to be friends with, this chief of police, and he wants to tell him about a dream he's had about the girls from the B-52s. But the chief never has time to listen to him, and he just wants to discuss work. But Giant Head would quite like to have a friend. Instead, Giant Head is given the theft of a sculpture to investigate. Now, this is all by page 10 in a 128-page comic. Other subjects, I can't go into the whole thing. You do well to read this in one sitting. There's a lot in it. Subjects tackled in this book contain references to the Ant Hill Mob, aka Crime Car 55, cowboy movies and line dancing, Stephen King, eye lasers, talk show hosts who are in fact lions, diet wards which have romance. Has everyone in this place gone sex mad, says someone. People who ride bikes in jeans that are far too tight for them.
Oh, ass biker. That's the one I like. Yes.
Ass biker, yeah.
As it says, I mean, who rides a bloody bike in tight jeans like that and pointy shoes? And someone...
People in East London, I think you'll find. Yeah.
Someone says, I can carry it off because I've got such a nice, shapely ass.
There's a modern Tarzan, a detective who is now worried that all his animal friends are ignoring him. Marge Large, Thora Hurd, Ed Wood, Twat Gala, Danny Kildare, Space Priest, Shit Plank, investigator, Man in a Bottle, who's a hipster who lives in a glass bottle and is also a poet. He's a poet, a non-stop poet. He's fucking talking poetry. Just fucking mad. Just up my street. Just brilliant. I think, to me, this is what I like to see from these creators, these little small press companies. I like to see something crazy. This is one of the books that Avery Hill have put out that have put them nearest to someone like Fantagraphics for me. This is a book that you could easily have seen come out of Fantagraphics, maybe drawn on Quarterly, a few other sort of comic companies in the States, maybe. Yes, sometimes you can eat too much cheese before bed, and I suggest that Lord Herc probably does regularly to create this long character piece of just mental people in one book. But it is absolute fun. It is really good. It's full of laugh out loud. It's kind of like if Fantagraphics went Viz. That's kind of where I see it. You know, that sort of funniness about it. Get on it. Jinx Freeze by Lord Herc out of Avery Hill. There you go.
There you go. Another cracking book to... was that someone's Alexa about to order that book, was it?
No, that's me turning the iPad off.
Hey, Siri.
Yes. Hey, Siri.
Update, I got in contact with Pete about that comic, and it's going to be removed off of the app.
Oh, no. Okay, tell us afterwards.
Oh,
so
awesome.
If you want to have a look at it.
Well, we didn't. Well, I don't think we said what it was, and we didn't put any link in the show notes. So it's gone now, people. Sorry, but what will the mystery be next week? Well, you'll have to join us again to find out what it is. We should have an ongoing sort of like weird murder mystery or something like that.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, if one of us dies, one of us got to be the murderer, the other one's got to be the detective. So
So did you do it? Yeah. See you next week, everyone.
Yeah. Funny, wasn't it?
But we hope you enjoyed this episode. If there's anything we talked about, and we talked about quite a few different subjects this week, and I thought when we started this was going to divulge into nonsense, but as always it surprises me, and we get at least a good 10 minutes of...
We had a rant, didn't we?
We had 10 minutes of, we had a rant, and it's just personally our opinion, so don't take anything to heart. But if there's anything you do want us to discuss, or if there's any comic events or different subjects and things that you want to hear us talk about in upcoming shows, there's several different ways you can get in touch with us. You can email us, awesomecomicspod@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter, because we've got an account, and it's at the Awesome Pod, where we'll be retweeting some good stuff, sharing the positivity of comics where we can, and of course shilling this show like the whores we are. And if you do the Book of Faces, go to facebook.com/awesomecomicspodcast. Join the community group. If you're a croupier, and you want to talk about comics, then join the group.
Fuck off, you're not welcome.
Everyone is welcome. If they've listened to this show, say the word albatross, and we will know that you'll be part of the group. So there you go.
Anal bleed.
No. But Awesome Comics Talk is the community group that you should go on. I can't believe there was absolute silence then when you said that bit, Tony. So it was probably the clearest part of the show.
Yeah.
No.
Say that and you can come on the Slack.
Yes. Speaking of which, if you want to know about how to join the Slack, get in touch with us. And we'll send you links, because there's a great community of people over there that just want to talk about comics and such.
Busy week this week. Couple of new members. Been good. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. And thank you very much for listening to us, whether it was on the website awesomecomics.podbean.com. If you listen to us on Apple Podcasts, subscribe and leave a review. It helps get the word out about the show, algorithms and all that nonsense, whatever they are. You know we're not very techie on this show, but helps get the word out about the comics that we talk about and the great creators and the great initiatives, etc. So please, please, give us a nice review. Please, please. We're desperate. But also, if you listen to us on any other networks like Spotify, Amazon, Stitcher, Podnose, Podknife, what are the networks we're on, Tony?
We're on Pod Dan's Sex Couch.
Tell you what, that's going to get its own Netflix adaptation, isn't it? That's our ever series.
It wasn't. I didn't see it today.
No, I've managed to solve it so that ghastly picture doesn't come up anymore.
That ghastly picture. You went all Downton Danny then for a moment.
It was a good one though, because you could sort of judge people, couldn't you? If it was, if they recognised it, you knew what sort of person they were.
It's quite revealing.
Yeah.
Many people our drinking draw did recognise it. So
yeah, they did. Yeah.
The caliber then.
which says a lot.
We know all about you.
We fucking know.
Yeah, and we love you. So thank you for listening to us as always. Where can people find us online, etc.? Tony?
If you go to patreon.com/Tribute Press, you can keep up with all our daily antics.
Yes.
Dan?
You can find me on Twitter at Vanguard, at Vanguard Comic. You can read Vanguard at vanguardcomic.com, and you can catch up with all the shit I'm putting on Patreon on the Vanguard Patreon. So have a look at that.
Which you should.
Yeah, excellent.
Both the Tribute and the Vanguard Patreon are the most frequent emails I get, and it's always
that's good.
Full of comics and artwork. So that's great.
I might start doing that. Like instead of doing a newsletter, just like do a weekly video. And
yeah, I like your videos.
Yeah, I'm going to get back.
I need to get back into doing the ones I was doing as well. I haven't done any for a few weeks.
There you go. Oh, that's
yours are much more professional though, and sexier.
Yeah.
A lot of flesh in your ones, T. No, not criticism. But
God, you can follow me on social media at Jester Diablo, and every Wednesday, all three of us, if we can find 4 comic covers that we like, we post them online, and or
even 3. I did one week. I did 3.
Yeah. Sometimes it's slim pickings, and sometimes I think it's slim pickings, but then I end up with a short list of quite a few.
Sometimes if you leave it like later in the day, there's a lot more on there.
Yeah. But this coming Wednesday, post up your favourite cover, and share the love for the creators. There you go. Doesn't have to be loads, just one. Just do that. Let's share some positivity about comics, because there needs to be more of it. Because as we've suggested it in this show, comics is fucking hard, and it's not going to get easier anytime soon. But keep making them. We'll keep reading them. And thank you as always for listening. Wherever you heard us, whenever you heard us, we hope you're happy, healthy, and doing okay, because we love you, don't we, Dan?
Of course we do.
Don't we, Tony?
Nah.
And as always, read comics, enjoy comics, recommend your favourite comic to someone else this week. There's another. I like challenging people to doing something nice. That's what we should be doing, isn't it? Don't you think?
Yes. Do something nice.
Oh, yes. I like that, Dan. Yeah.
Show your genitals to a neighbour. That'll cheer him up.
And if you, if only some of our listeners live next door to you, Tony. From Dan, Tony, and myself, have a brilliant week. Read loads of comics. Keep making comics. Keep smiling. And as always, what should they do, guys?
Stay awesome.
Stay awesome.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.